Welcome, everyone, to Ocean City, Maryland. When the town's founders first decided to lay out the street plans and give them names, they must have had a vision that one day this tiny little fishing village on the Maryland coast would eventually become a worldwide destination. Or perhaps they were just geography nerds. In any case, the signs are literally all over town of locations all over the planet. And it starts right here on the boardwalk, which is officially known as Atlantic Avenue. We're going to continue in the downtown area for a while with our Mid-Atlantic geography lesson, because everybody knows this avenue. Yeah, it's the largest city in Maryland. It's Baltimore Avenue. And right over here, as we walk toward, well, that would be Entry Park on the left, and over here on the right is the 7-Eleven. And I'm sure plenty of you out there have stopped in the little Quickest store for a bite or a drink, and maybe took a stroll or bicycle ride up the alley. All right, well, that's reference number 2. And that would be the largest city in Delaware. Yep. This little alley is called Wilmington Lane. And, of course, let's go one more state north. And that's Pennsylvania. And what's the home of our Liberty Bell? Oh, yeah. I think you got it. Yep. Right here. That's Philadelphia Avenue. And we're going to continue downtown because the lessons have just begun. After crossing Philadelphia Avenue, it's already time to start going big. Because that sign right there, you know what? Forget about the legend of Route 66. It's the legend of Route 50 here, because that's Sacramento, California, 3,073 miles. And you know what? Let's go into the Midwest for a minute, because right here, this little alley is named after a Ohio town. This is Dayton Lane. And since we were talking about Route 50 running all the way from Ocean City, Maryland to Sacramento, California, there is another thoroughfare that goes under the bridge, and it runs from Somerset Street up to 17th Street. And of course, this one is the second largest city in Missouri. I think you got it. Yeah, this is St. Louis Avenue. Now we're going to head to the other side of Philadelphia Avenue under the bridge. And then we're going to take a little Eastern Shore geography lesson. So let's pick up on the south side. If you've visited Ocean City, at some point you probably have bought some apparel at MR Ducks. And as that sign just showed, yeah, it's located right on the bay on Talbot Street. And of course, one block over, right next to the bridge, is Caroline Street. So that's the first two references of counties on the lower Maryland Eastern Shore. So let's walk out on the docks, and I'll name a few more that are south of the draw. Here at the MR Ducks dock, you can see that the marine fuel for ethanol-free unleaded 89 is $4 a gallon. And as we look to the south, the next streets will be Dorchester, Somerset, Worcester, and Wycomico. Yep, that's the Maryland lower Eastern Shore counties right here on the bay. Turning left, and one of my favorite alleys in town makes a reference to not only the state in the great northwest of our country, but also our nation's capital. This is Washington Lane. Every August, thousands of people will walk down this road on their way to Harbor Island and the weigh-ins for the White Marlin Open. And on their right will be a nod to the third largest city in the United States, Chicago Avenue. Moving uptown to a section called Little Salisbury, which is between 86th and 94th Street, means it's time to go global. And the first stop is a reference to the strait between Alaska and Russia. Yep, this is Bering Road. One block up the street, and we're at the intersection of Bering Road and Mediterranean Avenue. And the next intersection is none other than Bering Road and Caribbean Drive. Check out the view here at the boat ramp on Caribbean Drive. And we can't forget our own great body of shellfish water here at the intersection of Bering Road and Chesapeake Drive. There are so many global references here in Little Salisbury that it would take me all day to capture them all. So let's wrap up this section here at the intersection of Chesapeake Drive and Pacific Avenue. Our final two stops will pay homage to our European heritage with the first English settlement in North America, Jamestown Road, and White Street after the English Isle of White Bay. And of course, Ocean City has its own Isle of White Bay. Thanks for joining us, and after I cross the sand berm, we'll leave you with a scene from the shore.